my name is Valentina Castillo from the American School of Guatemala, and today I'm going to be interviewing the great Yolanda Sealey-Ruiz.
Hello there, Valentina. It's so great to be with you. Thank you for that introduction. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. It was wonderful giving the keynote for the conference, the 47th annual AMLE conference this morning. So I'm kind of pumped up. But to be honest, I was most excited knowing that I would be talking to you.
That's so good. I want to start off this interview with something I read actually on your website. I found it really interesting about your Lace Literacy project. I found it really cool how you created this sort of project to connect with other experiences. And I found it so cool. And I was thinking that it's kind of tough this year because of the current situation. It's kind of be a little tough to manage this, and I wanted to know if you had any plans to like do this online, because I found this was a really cool activity and I love how you do it since 2009. And I wanted to know if you were going to do some public interactions and any.
Wow, that is, oh, no, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I already finished asking.
No,
You're the
I'm
star.
so excited that you asked about that, Valentina, because, I've been doing, as you said, since 2009, the racial literacy roundtables where actually middle school students, high school students, and scholars, international and national scholars from around the world come together in a very informal setting, and we talk about issues related to race. And so I already started thinking when COVID hit, maybe a couple of months after in June, about taking it to online. And so usually I would start it in the fall, but there was a little bit going on, too much going on for the fall. But I intend to have a series in the spring and to run it through YouTube. And I already have 5 people signed up to do it. So Racial Literacies Roundtable 2021 will be coming to you and everyone else through YouTube.
That's so great. I love how you're always going to be helping others. And I actually wanted to ask a question about your YouTube since you brought it up. I was actually watching your YouTube and I just came across these videos you were making
Mhm.
that was about like your book Love from the Vortex and other poems about love. And I actually saw that in your Instagram you had it too, that you like talk with other people about their love, their relationships. And I found the conversations pretty interesting. And I wanted to know how you picked each person for each talk, because I found like they're perfect fits for what you're doing.
Wow. First of all, Valentina, you are a brilliant, brilliant mind, an incredible interviewer, and a great researcher. So I just want to tell you, you've already started the roots of a PhD program. I know you still need to get through middle school and high school and your college and your master's, but I really want you to think about that PhD, even though it seems many years away, because you're such a great researcher. And thank you for bringing up the book, Love from the Vortex and Other Poems. You'll see behind me, I have my Step and Repeat banner. And it was a wonderful project for me. And I'll tell you, it came to me in a dream. Like one morning, I woke up, I realized I had this dream that I had been talking to people who read the book. And first, the way that I decided for certain guests were those people who wrote a review. So I said, these were people who I know definitely read the book because they wrote a wonderful review for the book. Why don't I interview them? And they all said yes. And I realized it's kind of superhuman. I recorded 20 episodes within 5 days, and that was over the summer. So last week, thank you, there was episode 14, but there's 6 more episodes. And I intend to do season 2 as well. And the way that I'm selecting those people, some people are asking to be interviewed. And also, I follow people, what they say on my IG, some of the comments that they leave about the book. Sometimes people email me, and the spirit just feels right to say, I think that person should be a guest. So that's what I'm doing for season 2. Won't be 20 episodes, it will just be 10. And I'll probably record those within 5 days.
That's so great to know more is coming. I actually saw that on your YouTube. You have some, and I've seen like you put them on live and that people watch them, and I was pretty interested watching them. I liked how you interview them, your style, the questions, and I love how they respond
Mhm,
because I watched two, and I can't say I don't remember the persons that I watched. I know there was a man. I
mhm.
watched one of a man and I think another man, but I found it very interesting how you interview them, and I want to congratulate you for doing so.
Oh, Valentina, thank you so much. That means a lot. And especially, I would say, means a lot coming from a brilliant young person like yourself, because my daughter is 16, and, I want everyone to talk about love. Your age, my daughter's age, a lot of times, particularly in middle school or in high school, if someone isn't necessarily, seeing someone like in a dating, they may be too young for that, but we do have loving relationships. We have loving relationships with our parents, and particularly in middle school and high school, we have loving relationships with our friends. And sometimes those friendships break apart and they hurt us. And we all need a space to talk about what that feels like, and also a space to try to heal from friendships, loving friendships when they break apart. So, my goal with the entire book and the show really is to just have people talk about love, love that makes them happy, but also some love that has hurt them, and give them an opportunity to heal from that.
Wow, that was a pretty great answer. I love the detail of it, and I think that's just great. And to end this interview, I want to ask you this question. I think it fits so well. You brought up your book, and I was thinking, oh, this is so interesting. She's a poet, and I was actually reading some of the poems on Google, and the book is about five men who impacted your life. And I saw in your merch that said all the names of the man and said and Yoli, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I want to ask you how you became a poet. Was it like the impact of all those men? Was it that you loved writing from a young age? Was it that you love rhyming? I wanted to know because it's pretty nice to meet someone who likes rhyming as well.
Wow, Valentina, what an awesome, awesome question. Thank you. I just want to share that actually the book has 7 chapters, and there's 6 men who were in my life over a period of 30 years. So that's 3 decades. You're not even 3 decades old yet, right? So I'm pretty old. And I want to also say that each of the men knew I was working on the book, and they chose their own names. So those are pseudonyms. Those aren't the names of their real names, which is very important to me to protect their privacy. And to answer your question, I have been writing poetry for 35 years. I didn't understand that. Oh, that was my phone. Sorry. You know how technology is, Valentina. I've been writing poetry since I was very young, about 15 years old. And I started writing because it would help me understand how I was feeling. So sometimes when we're younger, we're growing up, there are a lot of things that are happening at home or happening in the world, and we don't always know how to talk to an adult or even our own friends about it. And so for me, writing poetry was a way that I could talk onto the page and try to understand some of my feelings. So poetry has been very important to me. When I'm happy, I write poetry. When I'm sad, I write poetry. When I'm confused, I write poetry. So I guess it's a genre that, more so than the essay or any other or short story, any other type of writing, poetry makes me feel more myself and helps me understand what I'm going through.
Thank you so much for that answer. And I find it so nice that you write poetry because I was actually, this is pretty much of a coincidence. I was actually doing a project on poetry in my Spanish class, and I actually investigated a bit. And poetry is actually like an expression of feeling. So I found it so well that you write when you're confused and you write when you're sad or happy. And that helps to make you like comfortable with your feelings. And I think it's pretty great that you do that.
Thank you. And I hope, Valentina, that poetry is something that you will be comfortable with, you will grow to love. And even if it's not comfortable at first, it's okay. A lot of things we learn aren't always comfortable. But, Picasso, the painter, once said that all children are artists. I do believe that all children are poets. And so I just want to encourage you that, sometimes when you're writing, it might not feel like a poem, but to someone else, it may be a poem. So I just encourage you to write and to remember that you're a great researcher. So it's not too early to think about that PhD. This
I
has
want
been amazing.
I want to say it's the only interview I've ever done, but I think it will always be the best one I've ever had since it has impacted me a lot. And I want to say thank you for this chance. And I'm Valentina Castillo from the American School of Guatemala, and this is my interview with the Yolanda Sealey-Ruiz. Thank you so much for watching. Hi, my name is Valentina Castillo, and I'm so pumped and excited to be an AMLE student influencer.